ladies and gents, here we go with the front bumper off for the fog lights and my Debadge grill. Now, I'm not going to be showing you how to take it off properly, but I'll show you where I've got mine attached. I've kind of been lazy and left all these clips out. There's just a screw there for this side. Same on the other side. It's all already popped off here, and I've just got a screw up there in that corner. That snapped. Then there's these two here. That also snaps, and the bumper should just come right off after that. I don't think I put it back like absolutely 100% 4 years ago when I initially had it off for these fog light housings because they cracked. So yeah, I'll whip this off and see what we've got behind it. So once you've actually got your own bumper off, however that may come off, you're going to want to disconnect, and you can see I've made a little bit of a mess down there. This washer hose here for the headlight washers, you can do that by unclipping this little hose, which is on with the might of God. I've been sat here and I just absolutely smacked myself in the chops with this. It's held on with little clips like this. They are a pain, but once you've got those off, then you're going to be able to pull the bumper free. That's all that's actually holding it off, and pull the bulb out of the fog light as well. And just like, if there is any water in there, I think there's a little bit of water in mine, I'm going to make sure that it's all dry out, but it's going to be out all day baking in the sun, so should be good. And when you do get the bumper off, this is where you see the most stupid thing ever. So they've got 8 screws holding it on, yeah, that's fine. But there's also about 36 other clips. I guarantee all of these are going to break. I can't even move them with my full force of my hands, so God knows what I'm going to do. Going to have to figure it out. And of course, only one is left that's starting to round off. This is absolutely stupendously awful idea. It doesn't need this many clips to stay in place. Like, look at all that. Like, really? There's always one, isn't there? There is always one. So that had to get cut out because it was just genuinely completely deformed. So now that that's out, let's have some fun putting the new grill back in. Should be better than taking the grill out. I'd like to think so anyway. I'm going to try and not bother putting any of these screws back in because I don't want to have to deal with this ever again in my life. Hunk of junk. Quick test fit, and that already looks miles better. It's not exactly the same white, but I don't care because that's got 10 years worth of age on it. I'm sure it will be weathered in about 12 months time. So now here goes nothing with clipping it in. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I'll probably go bottom first. No, probably that's a lie. I'll do top first because we've got a couple of missing bits on here. We've got one, this little prong that's supposed to go in here is missing off this side, but other than that we should be fine. So let me try and just line it up from the front first. Hang on a sec. I've not got a tripod or anything, so do please bear with me. I'll show you where I clip it in anyway, don't worry. Now that's what I'm talking about. I literally started at the bottom there and just pushed it in all the way around like that. There was no particular order to do that in, so that's fine. The only reason I'm not particularly happy with it at the moment is because it doesn't fit great over at the top, like so. So I can't really cheat my way out of putting those screws in. I'm gonna just do these middle two though, because I ain't dealing with these corner ones again. That was horrendous. I'm also going to use the only 2 remaining decent screws out of all of this. I can't believe that all of them are knackered bar 2. That's quite unbelievable. So I can do this one-handed and left-handed at the same time. I think I got it. Hang on a minute, it doesn't quite feel right there. So there you go, 2 screws in there, all the rest of the clips, and absolutely no other screws whatsoever, and it's all perfectly in place and perfectly aligned now at the front of the bumper. So that's the grill part of the video done. Let's figure out what I'm going to do with these halo fogs and try and route them somewhere properly. So I've unboxed the whole assembly for the fog lights here. They don't look really that good quality, to be honest. Like, I think these are just going to get beat up on the front of the car, I won't lie. And they do look pretty tacky on the front of here as well. It just looks like some plastic tat stuck to it. So I'll use these as engine bay lights instead, I think. I'm not happy with that going on the front of the car. I think that's just going to break quite quickly. It's very, very flimsy in my hand as well, so I don't quite trust it. So for now, we'll pop the bumper back on. And as for the fog lights, actually, I'll probably just go back to what I used to do and have some RGB bulbs in there. They need replacing anyway. another slight issue. I've just plugged the fog light back in on, is it this side? I've plugged it in, yeah it is. So the little module that it actually plugs into, the thing with the little red bit there, this module, has actually broke on the other side, and that's why my fog light didn't work. So I'm just going to cover that plug up with some tape for now until I find a new one online, and I'll just have to go behind the arch liner and do this again. And to put it back in, the best way to do this is hook this and this back into the holes over here, not before you put some masking tape over this corner and the other side corner so it doesn't scratch all your paint up on the wings when you're putting it back on. This is if you're doing it on your own. If you've got a mate to help you out, then you'll be fine. And then you can start by putting the screws back in. I've not put them two back in because I'm going to go and literally get some copper grease. Now I'm not driving it because that gasket's still not quite been there for 24 hours yet, but on the whole, how mega does that look when it's on the car? I think this is what the front end needed to bring it back up to sort of scratch, because it was battered and horrible, that old grille, now that I've looked at it off the car. So yeah, there you go. If you've got all the under tray bolts, then you go ahead once it's like this and put it back on. But for me, it was nice and easy. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, pop it back in on both sides. Happy days. And in this video as well, it'd be rude not to do it. Oh, common occurrence around here again. Got to do a photo shoot with this on as well. That can't be missed out. So yeah, I've actually got metal piping and a ram air to go there. I've ditched the HKS because it doesn't fit under the big bar that I've got. You'll also notice that that's missing at the moment, obviously because I've been fanning about with all this stuff. But yeah, I'll come back, put that back together, go and get some pictures. I think I've chosen an appropriate quiet bus stop to do this. As you can see, the weather's insanely good today. I've switched spots and it's a couple of days later. As you can probably tell by my hay fever being absolutely awful, it's that time of year again. So I'm just going to stay here on and avoid these absolute craters where you can literally see rebar under the road. And yeah, we'll just get some pictures and round the video off like this, because I'm going to go for a drive today. It's really nice, possibly up to the top of Winter Hill. Looks like something's flying over there, but I don't think you can see it on the video either. I found the thing that was flying. Just about. It looks tiny and it's so slow. It's actually a really good spot, this, when it goes nice and quiet and there's no cars coming past. It's such a lovely backdrop on a summer's day. This place is utterly miserable in winter, by the way. I've literally just noticed there's a tiny bit of bird crap on my front bumper. I'm gonna have to blur that out in the pictures. God damn it. To be fair, the whole car needs a clean. I don't think I've even driven it that much since I've last cleaned it, but you know what? It just gets dirty every time you drive it here. Whether it's sunny or rainy, it just gets dirty. I don't get it. It's murder. Like, I washed it literally a matter of miles ago, that's it. Not millions of miles, obviously, but yeah. It's been a few days, I guess. So yeah, right, I think that's it. I think I've got a few nice pictures of the car here. Let me know what you think of this grille as well in the comments, because I know the white is a little bit off. I will end up redoing this. It's been about a week now, to be honest, since I've started making the first half of this video. So I'm going to definitely have to repaint that at some point. But I've got better paint, because I remember I should have repainted this, but I was a bit impatient. So that'll get done at some point soon. And I think next for paintwork touch-ups on this is probably going to be these wiper arms, because this has happened twice in my ownership. So I'll have to actually do it properly this time, because the first time I did it, I couldn't paint to save my life. So yeah, I'll round that off there. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and fingers crossed, I'll see you all next week. I think I should do. Take care, see you then.